Alright, so this is my QAV250. I'm calling this the low profile version. As you can see, I've removed the standoffs that normally come with it and used the landing gear standoffs to reduce the size and the profile. And I think it looks pretty sharp. So, in case you can't tell, I'm in a hotel bathroom, but that's because I'm training for 2 weeks out of state, and so I bring my project with me. So bear with me, just have better light in here. It's late at night, and I've been working on this, and I'm pretty happy about the way it's coming out. I'm going for cleanliness of the build. I just, for the first time, got a Nazi 32 flight controller in there. It's been sitting on my flight bench for a couple weeks, ever since Hobby King got them in stock, the Revision 5. And finally got around to soldering it and using base flight for the first time. So there it is, coming into focus. Now I have the orange receiver hooked up right now because I thought that I'd be able to bind my satellite receiver, but this one doesn't have a satellite port, so I wasn't able to bind yet. So when I get home, I plan on using the satellite receiver Spectrum, although this is good for now. I do have to rethink my landing gear. I did have some of these plastic standoffs just for a temporary because, as you can see, I taken my landing gear and I'm using them for spacers now, but these little plastic standoffs that you would typically use for a flight controller, they worked for a little bit today, but I do not recommend them, which is a no-brainer, but it's working with what I got. Like I said, I'm in a hotel. Now I did have earlier a extension cable for my antenna, but it didn't allow my battery to slip in there all the way, so to keep the low profile, I guess this works a little bit better. The video antenna, video TX antenna is reduced in size like this, allowing it to keep the low profile that I'm going for here. You can see I'm using paracord for everything, which I intended to use paracord on the bottom here on my motor wires as well, but just haven't got to that yet. Got some paracord here, and one of my goals was to also strap, or not strap, but reduce the size of all the extra additional wires. So there you can see my video transmitter cable coming out and going directly into the camera there. Cut it down to size, and I plan on doing that with everything. So there it is, QAV250 Low Pro. I think it looks pretty bad, honestly. That's where I put my Mobius. I'm really liking these white props. 50-30 gem fans. Now if you look on the front there, I did have to add an extra spacer in there. See where I do not have one, I just have the one black spacer on top of the prop there. Here I have a black spacer and a silver spacer. That way I can make sure that the propeller would clear. And it's a tight fit, but it clears. Haven't had any problems with it so far. And that is that camera. That is actually the Pilot HD. Comes with a metal case, and it has an SD video card slot in it as well. But I don't use it. I just use that for strictly FPV. I use my Mobius to record, but I did remove it from. Had to change my hand there so I could turn it around. I did take it out of the metal case so I could reduce the weight because that sucker was heavy. Try to focus here. See, I did solder the extra wire on there for the satellite receiver, which I'm not using at this moment. There she is. FPV Gorilla out.